Hey everyone, today we're going to walk through exactly how to find a great professional dog trainer right here in the Chesterfield, Michigan area. This is all about helping you make a choice that you can feel really good about for both you and your dog. Living in Chesterfield Township with a dog is pretty special. I mean, you have the gorgeous shoreline of Lake St. Clair, all that open space at Brandenburg Park. There are just so many places to explore together. It's one of those spots where your dog really gets to be part of the adventure. But that brings up a really practical question, right? To actually enjoy all these amazing places safely, from a simple walk down the street to a busy day at the park, your dog needs to have the skills to be a calm, confident buddy. And that's exactly where good training comes in. Okay, so let's think about this the right way. Good dog training isn't just about learning sit and stay in a vacuum. It's about getting your dog ready for the real-life situations you're actually going to face right here in Chesterfield. Just think about it for a second. Having a solid stay command is absolutely crucial when you're at a popular spot like Brandenburg Park. Good leash skills? They're a total necessity for a nice, relaxing walk on the Macomb Orchard Trail, especially with bikes zipping by. And keeping their cool with all the traffic on 23 Mile Road or the boat noise on the lake, well, that kind of calm confidence definitely doesn't just happen on its own. So you get it, training is key. But how in the world do you sort through all the options and find a real pro? Well, there are a few really important things you should be looking for. First things first, you've got to ask about their training philosophy. The modern, science-backed standard is something called positive reinforcement. All this means is that the trainer focuses on rewarding the behaviors you want to see. It makes learning fun and super effective, and it's all about building a trusting partnership with your dog. Now, on the other hand, if you're talking to a trainer and they start using words like alpha or dominance, or they recommend using tools that cause pain or fear, that is a massive red flag. The goal here is to build a confident dog who wants to work with you, not one who's just afraid of doing the wrong thing. And how do you know if a trainer really knows their stuff? Certifications. These aren't just random letters after their name. They show a real commitment to their education. A CPDTKA, for instance, shows they have a great foundation of knowledge. A KPA cert tells you they're skilled in positive reinforcement. And if you're dealing with tougher issues like serious fear or aggression, a certification from the IAABC is what you'd want to see. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. What kind of training format makes the most sense for you, and what can you expect it to cost? You'll mostly see two main options: group classes and private training. Group classes are awesome for getting your dog used to working around other dogs and people. Real-world distractions. Private or in-home sessions are perfect for zeroing in on specific problems right where they happen, like, say, bolting out the front door or barking at the mail carrier. And here's a general idea of what you might budget for in our area. As you can see, there's a pretty wide range. A 6-week group class is often a really affordable place to start. Private lessons are more per hour, but they're super focused on your specific needs. Then you have the more intensive options like a board and train, which is a much bigger investment for really comprehensive training. This should give you a realistic starting point. Okay, so you've done your research and found a few trainers that look promising. The next step is the consultation. This is your chance to really interview them and make sure they're the perfect fit. Think of this as your personal checklist. You want to hear them talk about positive methods. You want to verify their certifications. It's so important to ask how they'll create a plan specifically for your dog, not just some cookie-cutter program. And getting a clear picture of how they track progress and what the total cost will be right from the start, that avoids any awkward surprises down the road. A real pro will be happy to answer all of this. So let's bring all this information back to our own backyard. Being a great dog owner in Chesterfield also means knowing the local rules, which can actually help you figure out what to focus on in your training. Here's the #1 rule you've got to remember: 6 feet. That's the maximum leash length allowed by law in Chesterfield Township anytime you're off your own property. So see, practicing that nice loose leash walk isn't just for fun, it's actually the rule. And a few other things to keep in mind: a current rabies vaccination is required by the state, which is a must. Also, constant barking can actually become a nuisance issue, so working on that is just part of being a good neighbor. And honestly, a rock-solid recall, where your dog comes sprinting back the second you call, is probably the single most important safety skill you can teach them. So, once you and your trainer get going, where can you practice? Well, the fenced-in dog park at Brandenburg is the perfect, safe spot to work on that recall.
The Macomb Orchard Trail is ideal for practicing polite leash walking around distractions. And for our real challenge with all kinds of sights and sounds, heading to the nearby Lake St. Clair Metro Park is a great next step.
When it comes down to it, investing in the right training opens up so many more possibilities for you and your dog to enjoy life here. So just imagine for a second. Once they've got those skills down, what's the very first adventure you two are going to go on?
Picking the right trainer is really the first big step toward having a happier, less stressful life with your dog. We wish you the absolute best in your search and on your training journey. Having that well-behaved companion makes all the difference for enjoying peaceful walks, calm trips to the store, and everything else our beautiful part of Michigan has to offer.